enhancement to sort of give you everything that associated with an applicant in one place. So hopefully that'll solve the problem that you have, because I do know, and the reason for that is that historically, a lot of different people have worked on this application since it went online 12 or 13 years ago, and so you have a lot of pieces that are very different, and letters of recommendation is one of those pieces, and that's why it's going to be rewritten. But the idea is really to bring everything together into one intuitive interface, so that a recommender, or even if you were going to print, it's one-stop shopping. You can see everything you would need to print there. And then even going beyond that, I talked earlier about concatenating documents. We want to give individual departments a way to go in and say, okay, I want one file, one PDF file that has an application in it, that has their letters of recommendation in it, that has whatever other supplemental materials. That's why we want everything in PDF format, because if we do that, then we can create one file with everything in it, and then you're essentially done. Everybody's going to have that same file. You can go in and click print on one file, not jump around. Okay, let me print this, let me print that. So that's the goal of this, is to be able to allow you to create this one profile, sort of. Yes?
Really quick, on the recommendation setup, can you have it in a way where in the welcome message where you can bold, italicize, underline, same setup as you have there? Do you know what I'm talking about, the toolbar that you have on top of the application setup and the 4 text boxes? Can you do the same for these?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
And the reason we haven't, and this actually used to be, I used to have them, but what we discovered was that some of the codes in the email were getting messed up. So I took that feature out, but it can be added, and I wouldn't do it in the email, only because it really does depend on the email client in some cases as to how it appears. But we just need to do a little bit more work there to make this look right. In the meantime, you can put HTML in if it really makes sense. Now, that portal is not like an email. It's not like the top of an application where you have a lot of wiggle room. If somebody were to, say, embed a table or codes that could destroy that whole look, that's part of the challenge with allowing the embedding of HTML, is you have to be smart enough, the system has to be smart enough to strip out anything that's going to make the interface not look right. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so I am. Okay. And if, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just one quick suggestion is the PIN number on the bottom of the email, could you like make it a color so they see it?
Oh, in the email that sent the invitation?
Yes. I've had a few calls asking where it is.
Okay.
It's not plainly visible, it's after everything and after the thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the system has to generate it and insert it into that message. Yeah, I think.
Even like change the color or something.
Yeah, and what really might be a better solution is, and this is what we have at the top level, we allow you to embed tags, just like in Word, if you were to do a mail merge, you put the fields in where you want the content to appear. Well, for that message, we should just have a tag that you could put wherever it makes sense in your own message, like, you know, and with those special brackets around it. And that's probably going to be easier for the user, because the user is going to get to the bottom where your signature is not, and not continue to look. So thanks for that. So hopefully somebody made note of that, and we can do that. We can just let you put the link wherever you want in the message. Yes?
There are ways to resend that invite email, like if they didn't find it, the person put in the wrong email address?
Yes. If you went to the recommendations, the list, you can, this is the, I went to management, and then I went to recommendations, and this is a list of all of the recommendations for my applicants, and you have a couple options here. If it's received, I'm sorry, no, to resend the request. Now you don't want to resend a request if they've already submitted, obviously, so that's not available to me. But you would just click this link here, and then it's going to ask you, and I'm not going to do that because I'm not sure where that message would go.
Is it the same message?
Pardon?
Is it the same message, our original message?
Yes. I just don't know if it's going to go to me. We'll see. Okay.
So if the applicant contacts us and tells us that they accidentally put in the wrong email address, are we going to choose that invalidate request, and that allows them to put a new person in?
Yeah, that's a good question. You're full of those today, I see.
I ran into this last year, it doesn't do that now. If they
It
make
doesn't.
mistakes,
No,
then
and
your
I'll tell you-
office has to change something so that it
Yeah.
gets corrected.
The reason it
It'd be nice if
doesn't,
they could do that.
no, you're right, and that is absolutely on the list of things to change when this is all rewritten. But no, I appreciate, I'm just kidding with you. It's a good observation. Yeah, right now, there's no way, because the way it works now is when the application is submitted for formal review, and those recommended questions are on there, and electronic letters of recommendation are enabled for the program, that's the only time it cares what the person's name and email address is. And it sort of stamps that. And we need to be able to make that more flexible going forward. So we're absolutely aware of that limitation.
Can't you change the email address in the application, then go back into the letter of recommendation, and then hit resend request? Because I've done that before, and I changed the email.
Yes, but
Yeah.
That's only before they submit it for formal review.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that they had already.
There may be like a Band-Aid fix in there that does that, but it's not done the right way. I mean, it could be that we said, oh, we're desperate, we need a way to do this, and somebody made that change, but it really shouldn't work that way. You should be able to modify it right here, so. Yes?
The big picture here that we're not printing anything to give a committee to review, that the committee is going to look at all this
Yes.
online.
That is our goal. We're
How do
going.
we get our faculty to do that?
No, really, the goal is to, when we do the reviewer portal, you're gonna be able to go in and set your faculty up, and when they log in, all they're gonna see are the students they need to review. And they're gonna click on the student, and they're gonna have a nice interface where you decide what is reviewable, what's scoreable. You know, certain unofficial documents might be scoreable, like a personal essay. They can get points for different things. It's going to be completely flexible at the actual degree level, the application level, the individual application level, what you decide is reviewable and what you want faculty to see. And then they're all going to put in their scores, and then there's going to be a place where all of that information is consolidated, and you'll be able to see applicant scores and legitimate applicant scores. So that is really the goal, and it's going to be all electronic, and we don't want.
For
We
fall.
want pardon?
For fall. For fall.
That, I think, I think that will be done before the end of February, I believe. So,
It's too late. Before that, that isn't ready.
when would it have to be done?
Now. January 15th, we already had a very.
Our deadline's January 10th for the application.
Okay, well, yeah, that's probably, it may be done, but I think that on our schedule, because we wanted to get the, some of the international changes done, and then I'm moving on to the reviewer portal, and I think in November, December. It probably, I mean, it could be January. Maybe what we do is we say what is absolutely critical for the review process, and maybe save some bells and whistles for later. That's possible. But we'll be in touch about that with the users to see what the critical features are. I know there are a lot of schools that are interested in piloting that module, the reviewer module. Any other questions about the letters of recommendation? I mean, that's actually a good segue into some of the future enhancements.
Actually, could we see the user pathway
For,
letters of recommendation? So when I get an invitation to send a letter of recommendation.
oh, what the email looks like?
Yeah, this is just an email with a link.
I think so. Let me see if I received an email when I just clicked that. I don't know what's with this computer today. It doesn't want to show me any windows. And no, I'm sorry, I didn't get an email. I don't think it was set up to send email anyway, and I'm not even sure I'm online. But no, unfortunately, I don't have an example of that handy. But it's going to be whatever, I'll show you. So, yeah, it's essentially, it's going to be this email, and after this, there's going to be a link that's, they click that link and put the PIN, password, and then it looks like that's after they've logged in. So this or that. So it's not entirely ugly or difficult to use for the recommender, but internally we do need to make a lot of changes.
We can't turn off that type in option?
No, but I think I could probably do that very easily. I could give you an option.
I mean, they can have their friend type it in.
Pardon?
They can have their friend type it in.
Well, it's not going to the applicant, it's going to the recommender. But I mean, if the applicant put in a fake email address, yeah, they could do that. They could also mail in a fake letter.
Well, yeah.
So, no, and we've seen cases where an applicant put in fake email addresses and, all the letters came in magically within 5 minutes of each other. But those were uploaded documents. But like I said, somebody really wants to try to circumvent the rules set up by the system. We'll find a way to do that, whether it's paper or electronic. Any other questions about letter of recommendation?
Mike, right now, is there any flexibility to be able to embed a link within the message that goes out to the recommender? To include something like a fillable form that they could fill out and then upload back?
Oh, you mean for, you have an assessment rubric or something you want to use?
Yeah, I have like a cover form that the faculty have voted on that I can't get rid of.
Oh, okay.
And I want to, but, which means that I need them to upload a letter and this form. And so I can change the form into a fillable PDF so I can send it to them, they can open it, they can save it and upload it, but that means they upload 2 items.
Yeah. Oh, that's why you asked the question earlier. I see.
Yes.
Okay.
It's my mad plan by the end of the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought those 2 things up. I mean, the multiple documents is important too. I wouldn't mind seeing that form though, because one of the changes that were made when we started allowing uploadable documents was to remove these features that allowed you to create sort of Likert scale type questions, rating questions. And that's going to be put back in when it's rewritten, but it'll be done in a way that makes more sense. The first one, I mean, you were getting this information, but there was no way to view it. So if you had 5 questions that were rated, there was no place you could even go and compare side by side, what the results were. So one of the things going forward will be to give you that and allow you to attach significance to the ratings of the recommenders. And that will be included in the scoring for the applicant, the faculty review portal. So all of those pieces would come together. But if you were to send me maybe that and just give me an idea of what you're doing now.
I'm just looking for like a temporary fix until you put those Likert scales back in, and then I can work with that.
Yeah, but I mean, you could put a link in your message to, please go but then they have to email it to you. I mean, they're going to have to, email it back to you.
Right.
And that's not helpful. Okay, well, let me think about that over the weekend. I'll try not to go out too much. I'll try to focus on this. That's not likely
a lovely
to
dinner
happen.
and a kiss.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I've pretty much gotten through everything in here, and we have. What I don't even know. I can't. My screen's so small. I don't even have a clock. Does that say 10 minutes? Are there any other questions, whether they're specific about anything I've covered or general? No?
Yes, 2 over here.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
What if you get materials from like Interfolio, that come in like this stack?
Oh.
Will Radmit upload them, or GEMS rather?
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't know, but Interfolio is it like a student? What is Interfolio?
We get application materials from from outside sources.
Oh, okay, so students would upload the materials? Is that how it works, or is this is it some way for us to go in
It's like a
and?
clearinghouse of recommendations and
Yeah.
transcripts that students can subscribe to, and then their materials are forwarded to us.
Oh,
So they don't actually come directly from the
I see.
institution or the student, they come from this clearinghouse.
oh, well, I wonder if there's an automated way for us to just bring those right in, as opposed to the manual process of them printing it out, sending it to you, and then or us, and then us scanning it and putting it in.
It normally goes to you and then comes to the department?
We're not exactly sure. I think that the best approach would be, if materials are sent, they should probably be sent right to GEMS, and then allow us to scan them and attach them for you.
If you get anything from Interfolio, send them to our office.
Okay.
Send them
Yeah,
directly.
yeah, I mean, or have them sent directly so that you're not bothered with that, but, yeah, I guess we would treat those like, materials from anywhere else. Now, but that is a good point. What if there's a document that you might want to attach and you're not even sure what it's going to be? Well, you could create another category for a local checklist item and then make it non-optional, and then be able to attach documents to that. And I think one of the things I mentioned earlier is if it's an official document, you can still upload those within the application manager. It's just that applicants can't. So hopefully that answers the question. There was one other question. Yes?
I have like 8 applicants that had started applications, did not attach any documents before the change. And I tried to pretend to be them and go in there, but I can't find anywhere to attach documents.
It's probably because these options may not be enabled for that application.
They weren't when they
Nope.
submitted them.
Okay.
Because I didn't know to do all this. So then,
Right.
can
So
they
that-
see them now? I have enabled everything, so can
Okay.
they see them now?
Yes, and so you're saying that the application was submitted for formal review.
No, just that they started to complete it.
Oh, well, they should have the prompts, and if they don't have the prompts, then I would go up under your checklist, the setup, and just make sure that you have some options selected there that would be uploadable, like unofficial documents or whatever.
Right, I did all that, and then I pretended to be them, using their password, but I
Okay.
couldn't see it, so I don't know if they can see it.
Oh, okay. Well, did you try going into the preview? Do you see them in your preview? Well, then the applicant should see them as well.
Okay.
Maybe if you give our office a call after this, and maybe somebody could walk you through.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
if they can, I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Are the accept codes going to remain the same, ACAD,
Yes.
the little person icon?
That you don't like?
Well, I don't particularly like that, no.
I know, I could tell just by the way you said that little person icon.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we are, I think there's an enhancement in the list to get rid of that and add a column just for that, the applicant confirmation, separate from their sort of internal status. So yeah, that's gonna go away. That.
When you get to the review portal, like right now we're using eCopy, so if a student submits transcripts and then something that they really didn't need to submit, I delete it so that the committee doesn't see it. Is that gonna be an option in the review portal to hide like maybe page 5 of the 6 documents that they put in?
To hide, well.
Like if I upload a 6-page document as one document, will I have the option to get rid of page 5 if I don't want the committee to see it? Because it's unnecessary?
Well, if it's all one document, no, there'd be no easy way to do that. But, I mean, okay, so you're saying they uploaded a 6-page CD, okay,
Like
for
5
example?
pages of a transcript and then 1 page of a certificate that is
Okay, but are they separate documents?
No, it's one document.
No, there'd be no easy way to do that, because, I mean, they're going to get, in their review portal, they're gonna have access to a document or they're not. If they're separate documents, that's different. If that becomes an issue, what we could probably do is break uploads out into individual pages. But at this point, I mean, that's sort of advanced for us now. We're sort of still feeling our way through this. But if that becomes an issue, we can certainly, I think what I just said would be the only solution is for us to break it out, I mean, you'd be able to sort of hide certain pages of that document and then perhaps put it back together in one document, I don't know. We have a lot of flexibility for that, but, any other, I know there are other questions. Yes?
I received an email from an institution saying that this was their official transcript for an applicant. Is there a way I can attach that to their?
Yes. Yeah, for official documents, you're always gonna have your own prompt to do that in the application. As a matter of fact, if I go into here under, now this person doesn't have any, so.
What was it, eScript that you received it from?
It was an e-script and they gave me a password that I had to put in there.
Likely, we received it as well.
Okay.
Let's just verify that afterwards. We'll also figure out that, but we get daily, we get e-scripts to our office. So it might have been the same person that we already got, but let's talk.
Yeah, and I think the important thing to note there is you can attach unofficial documents yourself. I'm sorry, official documents yourself. In other words, they can only come from the application manager, they can't come from the applicant, and the whole idea of this was to allow us to attach everything that could be associated with an application electronically, and that would include official documents.
From an email.
From an email, yeah. Yes?
Back to the fact